So today we're diving into this really big question, one that seems to always be simmering somewhere. Is the world fundamentally, well, out of control, or is
Yep.
it actually under control?
Yeah, that's a huge one. And it's exactly the tension the source we're looking at tackles. It's a kind of chronological walk through Bible history, and it uses Revelation chapter 1 to try and find some clarity on that exact point.
Okay.
It starts by putting us right there with the early believers,
Yeah.
facing intense Roman persecution. It must have felt utterly chaotic, like maybe God wasn't even watching or didn't care.
Right, that feeling of abandonment or chaos.
Yeah.
But the core argument here, the source's main point, is
Yeah.
what? That despite appearances, things are under control.
Precisely. It makes this strong claim.
Yeah.
The world is under God's control. His eternal will is guiding things, even when everything looks, frankly, anxious and crazy on the surface. And it acknowledges that's tough. This isn't about God swooping in to make pain disappear. It's more about him assuring his people he's there and that they need to live by faith right through the suffering. He's watching, yes, but comfort isn't the guarantee.
That's a challenging idea, especially for someone literally facing Roman swords. So if it is under control, how does this analysis suggest we actually, see that?
And it says Revelation itself provides the key,
Right.
right? The structure.
Exactly. That structure is crucial. The source points out that Revelation kind of gives you a roadmap. It says the whole book makes sense if you figure out three things. One, what John actually saw in the vision.
Okay.
Two, what is now the current reality for those churches. And three, what will take place later, the future stuff. This framework is meant to show those terrified readers that God's got the whole picture, past, present, future. It's all under his hand.
All right, so let's tackle that first piece, what John saw. Revelation 1:20 is key here because, as the source highlights, Jesus himself explains the symbols. No guesswork needed, which is helpful. Yeah, it's incredibly direct. Right there in text, he says the 7 golden lampstands, those are the 7 churches. Simple enough.
And the 7 stars, the ones in Jesus's right hand.
Those are the messengers, or you could say the leaders, of those same 7 churches, held securely in his hand.
Now, this is where that linguistic detail the source focuses on becomes really important, isn't it? The word for stars, angelos in Greek,
Yeah.
usually translated angel.
Right. But this analysis makes a strong case based on the word itself. Angelos, and its Hebrew counterpart malik, can mean a spiritual being, an angel, sure. But it also just means a messenger, a human sent on a mission.
Like an emissary.
Exactly. And the source argues that contextually, messenger or leader makes way more sense here. It even points to other New Testament spots, like Matthew 11:10, where angelos clearly means a human messenger. The command was to get this message to the churches in Asia Minor.
Okay, I see.
So the natural recipients would be the human leaders of those churches.
So connecting this back to our big theme, control, why is it so significant that Jesus is holding these human leaders? How does that address the out-of-control feeling?
Well, think about it. The original apostles, the big names, the founders, they were gone, martyred. So the believers were probably thinking, who's leading us now? Has Jesus lost his connection to us on the ground? It felt chaotic, leaderless maybe.
So the vision hits that fear directly.
How? Right on target. Revelation 1:20 is this huge assurance.
Yeah.
Jesus isn't just holding some abstract angels. He's holding the current living, breathing human leaders, and by extension their churches, in his powerful right hand.
Okay.
It's showing them. Despite the Roman chaos, despite the deaths, the situation is not out of control. It's being personally managed, guided by God's unchanging will, through the very people he's appointed right now.
Wow. Okay, so wrapping this up then. The whole point of Revelation chapter 1, according to this source, is basically to tell those shaking believers, hold on, Jesus is alive, he's right here with you in this awful reality, and things are under control.
That's the core message. The fear comes from looking only at what you can see. The swords, the prisons, the uncertainty, which leads directly to that final thought the source leaves us with. It's a challenge, really. It asks you to consider maybe what you can't see is actually more important than what you can.
Don't forget that what is unseen, that moves what is seen, is more important.
Yeah, that invisible reality of God's purpose and presence.
Yeah.
That's the anchor.
That's definitely something to chew on. Focus on the constant God's will, not the fluctuating circumstances. Well, we hope this deep dive gave you some perspective to think about today.